How are we doing? I am Andy Wilson, the Sneakonomist, and having spent a couple of weeks away from the camera, we've got lots and lots to talk about. We've got earnings from Puma, Skechers, as well as the dreaded Crocs. Lyst have given us their latest fashion trends and brand rankings. NPD have given us an update for Q1 footwear sales, and VF Corp, who own Vans, have been continuing to tweak their portfolio. So I'll start off with Puma, who have given us their latest set of earnings. The shares did open slightly higher, but did succumb to some profit taking. So what did they say? Overall, their numbers were strong. They talked about their sales for the quarter being up 26%. Consensus expected them to rise by about 19%. So a good beat there. Margins were stronger or higher across the board, and we saw outperformance from the Americas as well as Asia Pacific region. And the company have shown good market share gains across the board. So what exactly was the problem? Well, they were quite cautious on the trading environment going forward. Obviously, COVID related stuff there, but also on the supply chain issues, this worry about port congestion, shortage of those containers themselves, as well as that awful blocking of the Suez Canal by the Ever Given boat. So that caution, especially as stocks like this are still pretty much priced for perfection, have had a very, very good run and are meeting some resistance levels at the highs. There wasn't quite enough for them to be able to push on, and shares, as I say, did succumb to some profit taking. On to Skechers now. Not everyone's cup of tea, but you've got to remember, we've got to look past this sort of sneaker hype community, if you like, and think about mum and pop comfortable shoes, etc, etc. So they had numbers out. The shares rose 15%. That's actually in line with the sales growth they saw. They saw sales growth of 15%. The international wholesale part of their business saw growth of almost 24%, and DTC was up just over 18%. That's that direct to consumer. It was a new record for sales for Q1, and it's being driven mainly by COVID activities. Walking, very, very popular as people didn't have too much else that they could do and they wanted to get some exercise, particularly if you're sort of the older genre, if you like, of people potentially wearing Skechers. You're looking for comfort, you're looking for quality, and you're probably walking as opposed to going out running and sprinting, etc. They did also increase their advertising campaign, so there would have been a bit of an increase in the cost of spend around that, but shareholders were pleased with the performance for that quarter, and those increased ad campaigns have definitely paid off. Crocs, you know my thoughts on Crocs. Well, they had some earnings and their shares were up another 15%, another earnings beat across all metrics. They actually doubled their sales growth guidance going forward, so they're very, very positive for the year to come. Remember, these have got use within the medical profession because they are comfortable. People have on their feet all day, particularly working in the medical profession. They're non-slip. People that have been at home as well, obviously looking for a bit of comfort, slip-on shoes, etc, etc. You know my thoughts on these. I can't stand them, but people can't get enough of them. And you can't forget also some of the collaborations they do are pretty high profile, and they do sell out very, very quickly. I'm going to move quickly now on to Lyst. They've come out with their first quarter 2021 index ranking of fashion's hottest brands and products. Now this is Lyst is a platform, 150 million users. They browse and buy items from 12,000 different brands and stores, so they get a very good idea of search data and also sales data as well. On the brand side of things, in at number one and remaining at number one still is Gucci, mainly driven, the highest profile that was driving stuff in the last quarter was their North Face collaboration. One notable riser that we'll all be pleased to see, Nike went from 11th to second spot. They saw a 59% increase in digital sales. Again, that DTC push that we've been talking about. They also had the hands-free sneaker, which I'll come to more in a minute. And also in the news, they were fighting the Satan shoe, that the Lil Nas Satan shoe that they ended up fighting in the courts over to block. On products, it splits women's 1 to 10 and then men's 1 to 10. And women's number 1 was the North Face Gucci canvas bomber jacket. So that just highlights how Gucci as a brand at that number 1 spot. Another notable one, number 7, was the Fly Ease Racer. Obviously, that's helped push Nike with that hands-free sneaker design. And we saw another drop from Adidas and Ivy Park, and the bucket hat there was in at number 8. For the men, in at number 1 was that awful Yeezy 450, that claw-looking shoe, which I can't quite get my head around either. If there's too much more rubber, it might as well just be a Croc. Number 2, the Moncler vest, the gilet there, just a plain black one, but obviously very, very popular. Number 4, obviously, we've got to have some Dunk Lows in there because they've been everywhere. They were in at number 4, Nike Dunk Lows. Just the outdoor theme with people wanting to get out and about and exercising more and walking. We had the Arc'teryx jacket, was number 5. And we also, on that similar theme, we had Salomon XT Wing sort of outdoor, so cross-country type walking shoe, if you like. I'm now going to go on to NPD. If you guys don't follow and look out for these guys, they are a sort of a market research company based in the US, and they look at all the different shopping trends, etc. And there's a good guy called Matt Powell who looks into all of the sort of athletic footwear sales, etc. there. They came out with their Q1 2021 sales. Footwear sales rose over 35% versus Q1 2020. The reasons there: third stimulus checks, some later tax credits filtering through, which are all helping push sales. Warmer weather, early Easter, depends which quarter that Easter actually falls into, and it fell early, so it helped boost Q1. You'll probably see that drop out of Q2. And also vaccinations. A couple of names that won't be a huge surprise if you've been watching my stuff, but Brooks, Hoka One One, and On Running all surging, and you've no doubt probably seen On advertising campaigns that have been ramped up. Puma, Reebok were strong. Skechers, Columbia and Vans all outperformed, whilst Nike, Jordan, Adidas, Asics, New Balance all underperformed compared to previous years. VF Corp, who obviously recently bought Supreme back in November for £1.5 billion, they have continued to sort of rejig their stable of clothing, etc. They have today sold their occupational portion of their work segments division to a company called Redwood Capital. So this is basically them making footwear, etc. for people when they are at work. This doesn't include Dickies or Timberland. They're obviously high enough profile, they wanted to keep hold of them. But that rejig, like I've talked about quite a lot since we're coming out of the COVID-stricken year of 2020, and people look forward, these firms and businesses are looking at what they've got scope to be able to improve on, and they're sort of tweaking their portfolios. And I'm going to end on one quick note here. Wingstop, for all those people that go for their offspring pickups on a Saturday and then head over to Wingstop, well, their shares rose almost 3% on the back of their earnings. Revenues came in at $70.7 million US. Consensus was for 69.3, so a slight beat there. But clearly people are happy to still get back out and about and crack on with Wingstop. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. If you've got any questions, please do give me a shout. Make sure you are following at Full Frame Kicks. Also check out their YouTube channel and make sure you've got notifications on so you get all the latest news as it drops. I'm the Sneakonomist. Please make sure you're following me as well on Instagram, and I'll see you soon.